You and Tony Abbott have since reconciled. I mean, he launched your book of speeches in 2018.
Daisy, I reconciled with Tony Abbott. He didn't do it with me. I did it with him.
Oh.
When he was standing for the elections against Julia Gillard, and after Labor, the Rudd years, and then Julia Gillard, I then actually sent him an email wishing him all the best in hoping that he wins that election against Julia Gillard. And he wrote back and he said, that's very magnanimous of you. And because it wasn't about Tony Abbott, it was about what I thought was best for the country and the people, and we had to get rid of Labor.
Well, it's good that the two of you can connect like that with, such powerful figures, but with those differences. And it is, I was reading about what happened to you. And you were so heavily persecuted, and eventually you were convicted of election fraud and sentenced to 3 years in prison. And it was, a lot of people, people said it was very disproportionate sentence, and it was overturned on appeal, which was great. But you spent 11 weeks in prison for something that you didn't do.
Correct. People ask me about that, and I'll tell you the guts of it. When I registered the political party in Queensland in 1998 to stand for the election then, 1998, we had to put up 500 members' names. The allegation was they weren't really 500 members of the political party, but 500 members of Pauline Hanson's support movement.
Oh, I see.
So that's what they proved. And of course, because of the election, I then received 2 cheques from the Electoral Commission, which is paid out on expenses. Those 2 cheques, because they were more than $5,000 each, and in my name, because I was party agent, you've got to have a person. So each charge, there was 3 charges. They found me guilty in the first charge. They weren't 500 members of the political party, but a support movement. Because I received those other 2 cheques, went straight into the legal bank account, trust account. Each sentence carried with it 3 years.
Gosh.
And I was served them concurrently for 3 years non-parole. And it was on the 3rd attempt at an appeal that finally I was released. The whole thing was quashed, and I should never have been charged in the first place, because under the Electoral Act, it did state, but Daisy, to this day, there were 500 members of the political party, and that was proven.
Absolutely.
We had 18,000 members at that time. Why would I go to a support movement for the membership? And under the Act, it did state, anyway, that members of a political party or an entity of that party. So therefore, I should never have been charged over it. It was about to stop me. That was all about. This is politics. My father said to me, he said, why do you want to get into it? He said, it's a dirty game. My father warned me. And I said to Dad, with an attitude like that, nothing will ever change. I said, I don't know if I'll ever change anything, but I won't know unless I have a go. And I said, you know what, Dad, I'm having a go. And that was after the Liberal Party threw me out, and I went down to see my parents, and he said, why do you have to open your mouth? But after I was out, Dad said to me, he said, you're not going to give up, are you? You're going to keep going. And Dad passed away before he saw me that I got back into politics.